subsidiaries, affiliates, or financial supporters.
And good morning to you and yours. I'm Gerald Montgomery. We're live in the studio at WVTC, but we are Windy City Gospel podcast. It's going to be a great day on today. We're going to have a good show on today. She's coming back. This is her second appearance. Our guest, Dr. Shirley Hill, on this morning. Today, I do have Annette Harris with me on this morning. And if you bring both of them in, both of them on in. There you go. There she is. Dr. Hill is with us. I don't know if you can hear me because I can't hear nobody. So I keep talking till you hear me. Just let me know if you can hear me.
We hear you.
Okay, there we go. All right, I can hear you. All right, today we're going to talk to Dr. Hill. Welcome back, Dr. Shirley Hill. Guys, it's good to see you again.
Pleasure being here. Thank you so much.
Okay, just turn up the volume a little bit up in here. All right, so on today, of course, we're going to be talking about eating healthy, drinking healthy, and just in retrospect about being a healthy you. That's it, a healthy you. So this morning on the radio station, I was talking about different gospel artists. I know Annette Harris might have some questions for Dr. Hill, but this morning I just want to give you an overview what I talked about this morning about different artists, gospel artists, or any artist, whatever genre they sing in, or musicians. We have pastors who preach, and then some would pass away. We have gospel artists who would sing and then go to the hospital, go to the emergency room. And sometimes, and the reason why we do that, because we're so much on the road, from church to church, from venue to venue. Only thing we do is get fast food, grab, eat, go sleep, or go to the next venue and grab something else and eat, and then go lay down on it. So with that said, Dr. Hill, help us please with that scenario. What should we do as musicians, gospel artists who are on the go all the time? What should we do? How should we eat?
Well, that's a tough one. That's a tough one because your health depends on your eating and your sleeping habits. Because the healing of the body takes place during your sleeping hours, between the hours of, I'll say 10:30, but it's really 11, and 2 a.m. And so usually, especially if you're a musician, a choir member, or whatever, between those hours, you're in somebody's church picking them up and putting them down. And so that means that even if you're eating right, if you're not asleep during the healing hours, then it will not work for you.
Amen. Because so many of my friends, and sometimes we get so relaxed of on the move, and the best thing to do sometimes is to grab, eat, perform, or preach, or just grab late night. And I'm gonna say this, Dr. Hill, I'm guilty because I always got a story. I remember one night, me and my wife could not sleep, and we up in the morning at 2:00 in the morning. So we say, I see you shaking your head already, because you're gonna get on me. So we couldn't sleep. So I said, let's go down to Jewtown. Let's get us some Polish. And guess what we did? We went down to Jewtown, got us some Polish, came home, ate, and went to sleep. So I know that's bad. I know you gave us the hours of sleep time, but help me.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Were y'all able to sleep after that?
It took a minute. It took a minute. it did. And that, Dr. Hill, it took a minute, even though it was bad. It was very, very heavy. But we just could, because we came in from church, late night church. And so I just wanted to, we look at TV and then that wasn't helping. And so, yeah, we finally did go to sleep. So for me, Dr. Hill, once again, you're on the air with us again.
Yes, sir.
Of course, I've been bad. I've been bad. So could you repeat? Because now I can hear you now. Could you repeat what you just said before?
Yes, sir. That our biggest problems, especially as church people, especially as musicians and ministers and choir directors and all of those things, is that we are in church when we should be at home in the bed, sound asleep, so that the body can heal itself between the hours of 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. The healing hormones are released at 10:30. And usually the preacher is just getting up at 10:30. Or the choir is just, getting everybody ready to praise and, for the next hour or so. And so we just totally miss our healing cycle. We miss our healing cycle. And that is not good, especially if you have eaten like the Newtown Post sausage. If you have eaten anything that's like starch and meat. So if you are eating starch and meat anytime, because starch and meat, they do not go together. That's a tumor. And that was a gentleman. He was what was he? Back in the old English days, he put a piece of meat on a slice of bread, and they called it a sandwich. His name was Sandwich. He was the Earl of Sandwiches, and they, started a fad that has just blown all out of proportion. And so, bread and meat, eating bread and meat, or meat and starch before we go to bed, that's really a heart attack waiting to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. So, all right. So I know Annette has plenty of questions, plenty of things to say to you, Dr. Hill. I you know what? And this morning, I tried to. I really, in my mind, I really try, and I know it's not about me today, but I have to make it me today, because Annette is on your program, or Annette got a program of her own, but she eats healthy, drinks healthy. Others, I see everybody do it, but how can you encourage someone to eat better, to drink better, and to rest better? Because us in the church, we don't rest well at all. So what would be some of the significance of how to rest better and drink better?
Well, I think that we should take a look at what we're putting in our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the things that we drink, they are either sugar laden, or they raise the cholesterol, or they stop certain processes in the body. They alter them, and so we don't know what we're eating, and we don't know works. Therefore, we don't know how what we're eating affects the body
Mm-hmm.
and the things that we put in the body. So then we pray over our plate, right?
Mm-hmm.
We ask God to sanctify our food. And the word says that's valuable, right? Would you agree?
Right. That's right.
Okay, so but the operative word there is food.
Mm.
And 99.9% of what we eat is not food.
Mm.
And so that scripture might apply to what we're eating.
Okay.
Because God is not a magician and he doesn't turn poison into food. And so we have to be more intentional about what we're putting in our bodies.
Right.
And then we need to we just need more knowledge. You know, eating food is a life and death matter. It is not a feel good. It is not a make me feel good, tantalize my tongue matter. It is
Mm-hmm.
a life and death matter. And we don't see it as such, even though we have, I find it interesting, sometimes a little comical, but when I consultate with people and we have consultations and we have these conversations about how they eat and what they eat, I can point out, okay, this is what's causing your high cholesterol. This is what's causing your triglycerides to go, off the charts. This is why you have such and such. This is the pain you're feeling. This is why they're saying you're going to be on this medication for the rest of your life. And it's from the foods that they're eating. It's really simple. And they'll say, yeah, I see that. But then they'll turn around and say, well, maybe I need to spend more time in the gym. Well, maybe I need to, they'll find another alternative because in their mind they cannot comprehend the fact that their favorite foods, these things that they love, that they eat on a daily basis, is why you're experiencing the things that you're experiencing. And if you just stop eating it for 3 weeks and see what happens. See if there's a difference. And then if there isn't a difference, come back with your medication. And then let's see if it's side effects from your medication. But that thing about the foods that we're eating or what we're eating, that's just a hard thing for us. And my mind is wired in a certain way. So if I don't answer your question,
Yes, it did. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. We're talking with Dr. Shirley Hill on this morning. I'm Jerome Montgomery. Annette Harris, you have anything? No.
Gerald, I'm getting a lot of feedback, so I'm not sure what's what here. But I am listening to Dr. Hill, and then your question that you asked, how can we get it across? I don't know, she does this on the regular. The thing is that one thing you don't mess with is folks' money and their food. So I'm sure it's kind of difficult to get across. And, a lot of times what I tell people myself, because I'm learning, of course, from Dr. Hill, is that everything is connected to our food. We have ailments, unexplained, explained, pain, or whatever. You can just relate that back, but it's still difficult to get it across. Now, I have heard Dr. Hill mention about when you're online and you have the various recipes or whatever, individuals are trying to get you to check out this meal or what have you. And I know when she sees that, I know she kind of grunts, if you will. And because people are thinking that they are eating correctly, they're thinking. So if you ask somebody, so how do you eat? Do you eat good? Yeah, I eat good. I eat right. I eat fruits and vegetables, but you have to like kind of get into the science of it, just like she does, to understand what you can and cannot mix together and do and have, and how it's going to affect certain areas of your body. I just want to make that comment. But health and wellness is so important. You mentioned about the pastors and different ones who were in the pulpit. You know, I've even come across some individuals, unfortunately, who maybe preached and then they dropped dead in the pulpit. You know, that was for various reasons. You know, again, connected to their diet, connected to their food. Dr. Hill, I know this might be a hard question, but is the church worse, church folk worse to get to understand about about our diet more than outside of the church?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we think that God is responsible for everything. We think that we can put anything in this body at any time, combine it any kind of way, and put as much of it as we want in our bodies, and then just call for the saints to lay hands on us and pray for us. And so that makes it very difficult. Most of the people that I have lost to disease is because of that factor right there. And you can, and I will add a caveat to that: black men are the worst in the world to try to deal with about their health and what they are eating. And not because of the religious factor, they just stubborn. No harm meant. But you all are. You're just the worst. I told Dr. Hunt, I said he was telling me about talking with an apostle about his health and what he should do. And I told him, I said, I don't mean any harm or any disrespect, but I don't like fooling with your apostles. And he said, why not? I said, because they don't listen to you. They don't think you know what you're talking about. The minute they feel better, then you know, it's just everything is out the window. You know, so it's, I would say, our men of color and church folks that believe that prayer is the answer to all things, including the iniquity that is in my tongue. And it is not necessarily, we don't understand principles. We don't understand principles when it comes to this thing, the relationship between eating and or what we're eating and the physical body. There is a relationship. The things that we put in our bodies, they will either switch on a gene or switch a gene off. If they switch a gene off that should be on, then you're going to have a disease. If they switch a gene on that should be off, then you may catch everything that comes along. Everything that comes along is just because God made the body to work in a certain manner, and we don't understand that. We think that we can, like I said, put anything in the body. I'll give you an example. Almost all animals on this planet, their bodies make vitamin C. We know that vitamin C DNA. It will stop a stroke. It will keep you from aging, not getting older, but it will keep the body from aging and all of that. But we don't make vitamin C. And so I said to God, I said, that doesn't make any sense. I said, because I live in Chicago and I need my body to make vitamin C. And so I began to do some study to try to find out why it is that humans don't make vitamin C. And lo and behold, it was vitamin C has 3 stages that it regulates. It's the last stage that's not working, and it is because the gene has been switched off.
Okay.
And so, and it's been switched off by, I'm still doing some studying it, but it looks like the gene was switched off because of the artificial sugars that we place in our bodies. And we do 150 pounds, and they say children even more because of the way we feed them. And we ingest 150 pounds of sugar every year.
Okay. I tell you what, Dr. Hill, what we're going to do now, because your mic or your sound, or it could be on our end, there's a lot of backfeed, a lot of murmuring. So I just want to get that. If we can get a video played, because I want to make sure that everybody hears Dr. Hill. If you can, our regular engineer is not here. I'm not blaming anybody. It's just that we need to there's a problem, and we just need to get to the bottom of it. So what we're going to do, I don't know if we can do a song. We could do a song. That's fine. That's fine. All right. We're going to do this song, and then we're going to make sure that we can hear her, but there are some technical problems with hearing her as well. All right, we're going to take this break right now.
Lord, hide me in thy glory, in the secret place of your holiness and grace. That's where I worship in thy presence. I'll bless your name and give you reverence. Hide me where the hands of mercy covers me from the enemy. Oh, hide from circumstance. Hide me when I want to take one more chance. I need you to hide me when my strength is weak. Hide me when my eyes want to take one more glance. Oh, hide me. Lord, I need you to hide me. Oh, hide me. Hide me from the enemy. Oh, hide me. Oh, my. I need you to hide me. Oh, my. Lord, I'm asking you to hide me. Oh, Shia. Oh, hide me. Oh, my. Even if the enemy you hide is me. Somebody lift those hands and worship him in this place. Lord, hide me in thy glory, in the secret place of your holiness and grace. That's where I worship in thy presence. I'll bless your name and give you reverence. I need you to hide me where the hands of mercy, woo, cover me from the enemy. I need you to hide me from circumstance. Hide me when I want to take one more chance. Lord, 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 hide me when my strength is weak. I want you to hide me when my eyes want to take one more glance. Oh, hide me. Oh, my God. I need you to hide me. I'm asking you to hide me from the enemy. Yes. Oh, hide me. Oh, my. I need you to hide me. Oh, my.
Let's come on.
I need you to hide me.
I don't know where I met it. All right.
Oh, hide me, Jesus.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, all right. I think we have the problem situated. I do believe. Dr. Hill, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Thank God. Thank God. Okay. And you know what? And I say this from my heart. I don't blame anyone. We have someone It's fairly new, and I'm not faulting him at all, at all. But now we know, so we can go on. We can go on. All right, he clapping. Annette clapping. All right, all right. So we have been talking about different artists who, and like myself, who eat wrong on the go. And Dr. Hill, I don't like ask you to say some stuff over again, but it was really bad. We heard you, but we did not hear you because of the it was choppy with what you're saying. So eating bad at night, what I did with me and my wife, we went out and eat, and then come back home at 2:30 in the morning and eating bad. So how many people, as far as I think Annette asked the question about how church folks just eat bad, period. We do. And let's just be real. We eat so bad that we think we're going to heaven, and and we're so glad about it. So help us out about how to eat the right way. And I know sometimes it can be hard. It can be hard. And I said this is my last thing. I think when the first time me and Michi and we met Annette, me and Michi eating, we eating. Annette Harris? Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. She got to know what's in it. And she ain't saying that I'm wrong, but she eats careful. I mean, she eats the way that, like, I guess what she's been trained to do, and her body is used to eating certain food. So help us out with the church folks about eating bad, Dr. Hill.
Well, as you said, our timing out. We eat out of time.
Mm-hmm.
That's number one. We eat out of time because we eat all the time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We eat when we should be in the bed, sleep. We eat when we should be working or doing something else. It's a habit.
Mm-hmm.
I think with the saints, eating is a habit.
Yes.
And it is God said something to me. Actually, it was just this week or the end of last week. He said, we don't die from old age. He said, we die from bad habits.
Mm.
And
Wow.
so, and I can clearly see that because we eat the way our parents ate. Our parents eat the way their grandparents ate. It's a process that's passed down from generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
And so I often hear, my mother died of breast cancer. My aunt died of breast cancer. So-and-so died of breast cancer. And it's just something that is passed down from generation to generation. And I have to say, do you eat like so-and-so, so-and-so, so-and-so? This is a knife and a fork problem. This is not a generational problem. This is a knife and fork problem that has been passed down from generation to generation.
Okay.
So if I may give an example, this is
Sure.
I was in North Carolina with a little 5-year-old. This was a 5-year-old little girl that had liver cancer at 5 years old.
Wow.
And her waist was 54 inches. Her waist, the tumor was as big as it had her waist as big as a man's waist.
Wow.
Wow.
And the little baby, they had given her, they took her to the hospital. She was screaming. I could hear her screaming on the phone when they called me and asked me if I could come.
Right.
And so I prayed and I told them I would come. God gave me a remedy. And when we got there, I think what I began to give her was what God had told me to give her. And it was only 2 ingredients. It was just 2 ingredients, and one was apples, and then one was it was a recipe that God had given me. So I started giving it to her in a syringe every 15 minutes because now they had given her like 4 days to live.
Wow. Yes.
And so every day her waist went down.
Mm.
The third day she was no longer in pain.
Yes.
And they thought we were doing something to her because the grandparents had said I was the aunt and I was to stay in the room with her 24 hours a day. So every 15 minutes, I gave her this solution in a syringe. And so every day the waist was getting smaller and smaller. And she was, after the third day, there was no more pain. And so they thought that we were threatening the baby, or we had a thing going on up in there. But I mean, it was two simple ingredients that dissolved that tumor. When she went in, she had her liver count was in the billions. That's what they said.
Mm.
We walked out of there in 3 months. I didn't let them give her chemotherapy, radiation. I didn't. The only thing she had was that with those two ingredients that God said. The mother would blend it up in the blender and bring it, and I would give it to her in the syringe. And she was very, very, very agreeable and pliable. Now her mother wasn't quite as much, but but the grandmother and the dad came up in there. Now listen to this. The dad came up in there with a boatload of snacks, candies, chips,
Yeah.
all this kind of stuff. And I said, she can't have that. And he looked at me like, what you mean she can't have this? I said, she cannot have that. That's what gave her the cancer and the tumor in the first place. She can't eat like that anymore. And so I became everybody's enemy,
Right.
everybody's, but they just didn't understand. I had a fight with them, not a disagreement, can I say? We disagreed until I left. I stayed there 3 months. Now, their pastor's wife, I went to church with them. It was on a family and friends day. Young couple. They had about 1,000 members. And so once a month or once every 6 weeks or so, they would have a family and friends day. So then they would have like 3,000 people there. And so after service, we would go to the dining area and just eat all kinds of stuff. It was just, church women can burn. They can put some stuff together.
Yes.
And so, I mean, those 3,000 people were down in there. They had that kitchen full of women. They were cooking everything. They had sweet potato pies. They had everything. But I'm trying to think, did they have salad? I don't remember salad, but I do remember that they had those sweet potato pies and they had some of everything. And I have been talking to this pastor's wife. She might have been 30. Maybe she might have been 30. And I noticed when we talked, she could not turn her head.
Right.
And so she would have to turn her entire body to look at you. And I asked her what was wrong with her neck. And I asked her why was it that she could not turn her head from side to side. And she said that the doctors could not find out what was wrong with her because when she turned her head, she would pass out. And so she said that their solution to the problem was to, I don't know if they put rods in her neck or I'm not sure what they did, but it was something very drastic and it meant that she would not be able to ever turn her head, turn her neck again. And so that kind of bothered me, and so then when I got 3 things, I got a tablespoon of sweet potato pie, I got a tablespoon of potato salad, and I got a tablespoon of something else. And we left and went home to their home, his family's home. When I got there, I started having this headache, this excruciating headache. And so I said, I'm going to go lay down. Maybe when I wake up, I'll feel better. It was like 5 steps to get to the next level. I could not see. By the time I got to the stairs to go up to the next level, I had to walk up the wall with my hands because I couldn't see. And so when I got in the bedroom to lay my head down on the pillow hurt my head so bad until I could not lay down. Wow. And so I got up and went back down, felt my way back down the stairs. And I told the teenager, the young lady that had the liver cancer, I told the teenager, I said, would you make me a smoothie? And she said, yes. She said, I'll make you a smoothie. And I told her exactly what to put in it. It wasn't any big deal thing. Celery, apple, carrots, cucumber. And she made that for me. I had her make me a big one, 16 ounce, and I drank it. And the more I drank it, the better I felt. And then my eyesight came back. And then I was able to go back upstairs and lay down and take that nap. And then when I woke up, then I felt as, all of that had subsided. But I still didn't know. I knew what happened to me, and I knew it was those 3 tablespoons of whatever that was that I ate, with all of the chemicals, with all of the aluminums, with all of all of those things that were in those 3 tablespoons of food that had really, I felt like I was having a stroke.
So Dr. Hill, with all that said, by taking a smoothie, which sounds very, very simple to do, but it helped you because your eyesight was, was kind of leaving you, and you had this, you couldn't lay down because on the pillow because your head was hurting really bad. But you took natural ingredients, all natural, what God has given us here on earth, and you mixed it and you drank it. And you felt so much better. So why is it so hard for us, and especially for Black folk?
Well,
to do that? Go ahead.
If we're talking about church Black folks, then we are talking about people that believe they can eat whatever they want, and God will keep them well. And if He doesn't keep them well, somebody will lay hands on them and pray for them, and they will be well. And that is the difficulty with us. We don't necessarily care because we think we have the hookup. Yeah, we think we have a hookup. And then we think that we have a solution. We think that God has told us that we can eat, drink, anything that we want to do, and He will heal us. None of these diseases will I put on you that I put on the Egyptians. It's just we take scripture out of context without principle. And then we pray over, this is just under my grandkids, they think this is so funny. Because when they sit at the table and people start praying, praying over their food stuff and sanctifying and blessing it and saying, God, take the calories out, and God, take the this out, and God, take the that out. And they just find that hilarious because they know what I've already, they know what it really is. It's not food. God's not going to take the calories out and all of this, that, and the other. But we, and that's what we do as church people. We don't take any responsibility. So then it's real simple. It is probably one of the most simplest things to eat in a healthy manner. And that is health comes from raw. It comes from raw foods. All right. So then what is raw food? That's a salad, that's a smoothie, that's a juice. And then you can add to that, if it's cooked, whole foods such as like black rice, such as sweet potato, a baked sweet potato, such as some mushrooms. And you can saute them because they're not fruit or vegetable. And the mushrooms are a whole protein. It is a plant protein. And so we just we don't take the time to learn what we should, because there is no faster food than raw food. All you gotta do is put it on a plate. And so but then we can't see it. We can't see it unless we're sick enough to die, and then we're willing to try anything.
Dr. Hill, can I interject here real quick?
Sure.
Now, when you just mentioned a word that grabbed my attention, you said simple, and then you mentioned about natural foods, like Gerald was just inquiring about the smoothie and doing the natural things, the simple things, and it hit me because that's how we are. We think if it's too simple, then it's probably not going to work. That's what we think in our mind.
Yeah.
Yet we should have that connection, just as in coming to Christ, all you have to do is repent and confess. That's simple. So that's that spiritual aspect, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then we should still have that same mentality when it comes to our physical health.
Yes.
Understanding and knowing that, this is simple. This is going to work, because I've come across so many people, Dr. Hill, and as well, unfortunately, if they've been diagnosed with cancer, and immediately I hear that, and I'm like, you need to connect with Dr. Hill, right? There's a connection between your diet, your health, there's a chemistry of food and all that. And some of them are like, I'm just gonna do what my doctor say, take the chemo, whatever. Now, trust me, when I'm saying this, I'm not dismissing anyone, I'm not knocking anyone. I'm just telling you about the experiences that I've come across. Because everybody has, they're entitled to make their own decision, right? But just understand and know that this simple step, this simplicity that Dr. Hill is talking about, could save your life.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna be a little bit transparent. Right after the show, right after this, I supposed to go to see my endocrinologist. In other words, my diabetic doctor. That's what he is. And somehow, some way, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm not. I can't. From this place to another city, it'll take too long. But the more I hear, and I'm not trying to think what everybody else is thinking. Is this true? How is this going to work? Annette just said it. Dr. Hill just said it. One thing it's simple to do what God has already have here on earth. And it is unlike, and Dr. Hill says something else. I'm not going to put on the children of Israel what I'm going to give unto the Egyptians. I'm not, because one, I love my people. And God has given us people like a Dr. Hill to help us along the way. Can I switch real quick? Because time is leaving us. All right. People are still coming down with COVID-19 is still in the land. It still is here. Still here. Last week, I had to go take a COVID-19 test because I was aching so bad. I didn't have a fever, but I was aching so bad. Came out negative. So, Dr. Hill, as far as colds, flu, what can you recommend? What should we do?
The greatest thing and this is not simple. Now, this one is not simple.
Oh.
This is probably going to be one of the most difficult things that we have ever done, and that is to stop eating sugar.
Mm. Mm.
That is to stop eating sugar, stop eating enriched flour that turns into sugar, stop eating chocolate, all of those things, because these things shut down the immune system.
Okay.
And I don't care how many vaccines you take. And in actuality, there is a danger of taking too many. Because if your immune system is not functioning and they're putting these particles, these viral particles, bacterial particles, overloading your body with all of these particles, and your immune system is not functioning, then you're going to be in trouble. And that's where that all of that problem on the ventilators, with them ending up on the ventilators. The immune system is the only thing. Your immune system makes interferons, and interferons are specific to this. They're specific to whatever entity that has entered your body that does not have your DNA. So it's your immune system that alerts the cells of your body that you have been invaded. And it gives them that DNA so that the body knows what interferons to make. The interferons stop the replication of the entity. Doesn't even matter if it's cancer, because the body, God made the body. I've given you everything that pertains to life. And so your immune system is its job is to keep you alive and well. And it does it very well. But sugar shuts it down. Sugar makes the cells, sugar opens a back door on the cells, because now the cells, they should not let any and everything into your cellular system, into that cell, so that they can reach your DNA and they can use your DNA to replicate themselves, right?
Right.
All right. Sugar opens a back door in the cell that allows the virus, the cancer cell, the bacteria, whatever it is that allows it, gives it access into the cell so that it can hijack your DNA and replicate itself and then spread throughout the body. And so sugar is the first thing that we need. And now I believe they've known this for, I don't know how long, but now they're saying that sugar, that, let's see, how do they say it? It erases the memory cells. And so all of our cells have memory cells. That's how the body heals itself, right? And so the science says that the memory cells remember all the way back to the egg and the sperm. And that's how your body regrows organs. That's how it does all of those wonderful things, because of that original DNA, the original, think about 9 months, 40 weeks. Think about how the body builds an entire human being. Well, that's our memory cells that repairs the body. And it says that science says that sugar erases the memory cells. And now they're saying that Alzheimer's, that sugar is, that they believe that sugar causes Alzheimer's. And so sugar has to be one of the first things that we remove. Enriched flour has to be one of the 1.5 things that we remove, because it turns to sugar. And then we need to remove the meat, because that animal protein, now think about what we're talking about. We're talking about DNA, we're talking about genes, we're talking about all of those things. Well, that automatically makes animal products adverse to your body, because you don't have the same type of DNA. You don't have the same, the bodies are not the same. And that's why there's such a bad problem with the cholesterol, because that cholesterol is made for a, what is it? 2-ton cow, I'm guessing. Whatever his weight is, it is most certainly nowhere near what your weight would be. Yet we have the cholesterol and all of that was made for that particular body with that particular weight.
All right, Dr. Hill, as always, time is never enough. Never, ever, never enough.
Never,
I would like to bring you back in May, because I think you are a vital part of Windy City Podcast. Annette Harris, could you tell us where can people find Dr. Hill?
Oh, definitely. You can go to, she's actually on Facebook and Instagram, Dr. Hill, but I think it's also Mo Faith. Her website is Mo Faith, MOPHETHNS.com. So Mo Faith Nutritional Services is where you can find her.
All right. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, no sugar, no enriched flour, and no chocolate. And as she just mentioned about, no meat.
14 raw fruits and vegetables a day. 14 raw fruits, that's a salad, that's 2 salads and a smoothie.
Okay. Dr. Hill, it's always a joy. I can listen to you all day. And for real, I can listen to you all day, because in my mind, this is where we need to be, Gerald. We can have it in our mind, but if you don't change what your heart situation is, as far as in your mind, have to get together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Have a great rest of the day. Dr. Hill, thank you. Annette Harris, thank you as always. You can hear it tomorrow morning at 7:50 and 8:50 with Sash Conversation. Have a great rest of the day. God bless you.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
Views made on the preceding program are not those of WVTC Radio, iNetworks Communications, or their financial supporters.
Winning victory through Christ, WVTC Allsip Chicago, and iNetworks Communication Station.